is hinges on the nature or characteristic of the Ripple XRP, on whether this is a security and therefore whether it falls within the securities registration framework in the United States under the Securities Act and the relevant provisions also and the relevant regulations or issuances. On this Ripple side,
Hello everyone, Crypto Della here. Welcome to another video about Ripple, of course, our favorite coin. In this video, the individual is basically going to talk about what he thinks on the Ripple case and who's going to win the Ripple case. As I told you guys, Ripple has utility, and you know it. In my opinion, it's the best crypto coin out there as far as utility and partnership is concerned. But let's see what else he has to say.
Of all the issues facing crypto this year, one question may come to define it more than any other. Are cryptocurrencies securities or are they commodities? We're about to find out. Across the world right now, regulators are trying to figure this out, but it's in the United States where the answer is likely going to come from, and in particular, from a legal case between the Securities and Exchange Commission and Ripple. A Ripple executive told Forecast they're expecting a decision on this case in the first half of this year. Make sure you check out our episode on that. The lawsuit was filed against Ripple in December of 2020 by the SEC. It essentially alleges that Ripple's sale of XRP was an unregistered securities offering, and it was worth almost $1.4 billion. Now, we've been getting the legal perspective on this, and it raises some interesting points that we wanted to share with you. So here's lawyer Rafael Padilla of Block Devs Asia clarifying exactly what's being argued.
For the US SEC, the main point of the argument is hinges on the nature or characteristic of the Ripple XRP, on whether this is a security and therefore whether it falls within the securities registration framework in the United States under the Securities Act and the relevant provisions also and the relevant regulations or issuances. On this Ripple side, they question this position of the US SEC mainly on the ground that while the US SEC hinges on the so-called Howey test to determine whether Ripple XRP is an investment contract. Okay. For Ripple, according to Ripple, well, it's not so clear that there is a contract involved in those transactions, and the absence of a contract basically makes the Howey test inapplicable.
This issue is vital to the whole industry, and it has implications that go far beyond Ripple and indeed the investors of Ripple. Indeed, the case itself is likely to be a test that is potentially applicable to every other cryptocurrency.
Absolutely, it is a test to all the other cryptocurrencies because the SEC will use this case as a framework to either take other companies, other crypto exchanges down, but we know that 99% of the other coins, there's no utility use for them. So therefore, it's going to be an easy case for them, even though Ripple is able to withstand them to find out what's going on with that.
As a test case, if the court decides rules that Ripple XRP is a security, this will once again provide a precedent, offer a precedent, demonstrating the fact that even if a token has a utility, it could still constitute a security.
Understandably, it's also got the attention of some of crypto's biggest names, and those not directly involved in it are nonetheless trying to influence some of the arguments there. Perhaps most importantly, however, is the silence we've also heard thus far from the SEC itself.
It's again remarkable to observe that relevant some of the important industry stakeholders such as Coinbase, Blockchain Association have issued their respective amicus brief, providing for some information and insights on how the courts should resolve this issue. And one interesting insight from them is there is lack of clarity, and the SEC, US SEC has failed to issue important guidances to basically allow Ripple to determine or assess its activities and transactions in relation to the Ripple XRP.
Once the court makes its decision, the likelihood is that the SEC will use it as a basis for rules for other cryptocurrencies as well. But the effects of the case likely won't stop there. Ursula McCormick of Australia-based firm King & Wood Mallesons told Forecast that the court's decision could carry profound downstream effects for global markets that rely on US platforms. And Rafael Padilla agrees.
What I'm afraid of is that if in this case, the court rules that Ripple XRP is a security, I don't think that this will necessarily clarify things. Okay, that this will necessarily provide us the certainty that the industry market participants are craving for. No.
So it's definitely going to change some things. We just don't know if it's going to be positive or on a negative. Ripple, regardless of the case that's going on, their international partners don't really care about the SEC case. So it may not change anything internationally, but on the US side, it definitely might.
I mean here is, once we have concluded that Ripple XRP is a security, then the next step is there an approach or a regulatory roadmap or a way for Ripple XRP to register the token before the US SEC?
The process of how crypto firms are selling and promoting their products is also in the spotlight as a result of this. For McCormick, the case underscores the importance not only of what is being sold, but how it is being sold as well. Padilla says that the decision of the case could ultimately provide some guidance.
What's common is the manner or the approach in promoting or selling these tokens, which has been done by Ripple XRP in the past and is still being done by other projects today. So this decision from the US court could finally provide some guidance of best practice also on how token issuers should be selling or marketing or promoting the sale of their tokens.
So basically, regulation is hopefully what we're expecting in 2023, and that will provide the framework and the guidelines onto how other cryptocurrencies or cryptocurrency companies, exchanges should operate in the US.
So, who's going to win?
I must respect the position of the judge who had the benefit of all the documents, pleadings, and information before the court to decide on the matter. I do have my personal opinion on this as a legal advisor myself. Not to say that I know better than the judge who is taking a lot of course, taking some time deciding on this case. But if I can bet on this, if I can bet my money on this, my bet is that the US SEC will still win this case.